What's up, everyone? Sean Count Blaggerth here today with another vinyl update. Thank you, everyone, for the birthday wishes on Instagram and whatnot. That was awesome. And to celebrate my birthday, I went to the Soundgarden in Syracuse, and I decided to treat myself to some vinyl because I obviously need that after the last few unboxings. Ugh. Well, I've listened to everything, and I was like, you know what, screw it. Last huge haul I'm doing for a long time. I may place a sizable order through Bindroom, but for the most part, I'm not going to be ordering much. First record, The Young and in the Way, with When Life Comes to Death. If you do not know The Young and in the Way, Killer Gatefold will love the spot gloss. They are a black crust band from, I don't actually know where they're from. That was stupid of me to start that. I know they're from the South. Killer shit. I call them Watain-core because it almost sounds like if Watain met Trap Them. A little bit of Zayo in my opinion here and there, but I don't know, I'm a Zayo fanboy. So many good songs on this. Fuck This Life. Be My Blood. Loved and Unwanted, We Are Nothing, Final Dose, Weeping in My Dust. Oh my god, this album is killer. Killer shit. Very Watain sounding in the vocal department, that's for sure. Comes with this very cool insert. Folds out into this poster of that artwork, which is sick. And then on the back, lyrics. And this pressing is the most common one, which is on a really cool clear white. It looks more white, but it's definitely got a little bit of clear in it. It's like a clear white marble. I really, really like it. You can kind of see it there. This is a great album. You'll either love or hate this band. And I love them. I have this on CD. So I didn't really need to buy this, but it was like $14, and I said, why not? So I'll probably just give the CD to a friend, or maybe I'll keep it. I don't know. Don't hit me up in the comments asking if you can have it, because the answer is no. Maybe I'll give it away in a giveaway or something. We'll see. Next, two killer albums I got for $10 a piece. They were used in fantastic shape. Soundgarden's fucking killer. I love that place. If you're in central New York, you need to go there. Black Breath was Sentenced to Life. Love this album. Heavy Breathing is my favorite, but this album is fucking killer. Southern Lord Presso. Very solid jacket. Very solid printed inner sleeve as well. Kind of mixture of death metal and hardcore. This was when they really started to go more towards the death metal side of things, where Heavy Breathing definitely had more of a hardcore vibe to it, which is why I love that one so much, but this is still a great album. Favorite song, Forced into Possession and Home of the Grave. So good. And the next one, I actually have not listened to. I've only heard 2 or 3 songs from it, and I really like what I heard. And that is Slaves Beyond Death from Black Breath. This is their newest album, Pablo Giardi artwork, which is really, really cool. I haven't heard this, but it's $10. I said, you know what? Might as well check it out. If I don't like it, worst case scenario, whatever. Double 180 gram vinyl. Plain black, so I'm not going to waste your time with it. So I don't know if this is a great album. I heard a lot of people loved it in 2015. Yeah, that was on a lot of year-end lists. So I'm pumped to hear the whole thing. Time to get shit weird. Especially for me. I have this album on CD. And it's slowly becoming one of my favorite non-metal albums. And in terms of last year's releases, other than the new Hex Vessel, this was my favorite. non-metal album. I could talk about this album for days. Aesop Rock, The Impossible Kid, killer packaging. This is one of my favorite hip hop albums at this point. I can't get enough of this. Um, Mystery Fish, Rings, Lot of Years, Dorks, Shrunk, Kirby, Tough, Defender, Molecules. God, Defender is probably my favorite, along with Shrunk. Lot of Years is another contender. Love the Spot Gloss. This is like a die cut cover, and this is a huge poster I'm not going to unfold, but it's like a 24 panel poster. It's insane how big it is. It comes with 2 printed inner sleeves. It's a double LP set. So, I'll make sure. All right. And the other side. And first LP is on this killer, like, neon green. And the second one, there's a lot of, like, really cool, like, subtle things with this artwork too. If you listen to the album, you'll pick up on some of it. I love the artwork. And this one is like on a neon, like, pink/purple. Looks fucking sick. I can't wait to I can't wait to spin this. I don't know why I fucking stopped myself. Comes with a download card. I already have the CD version, so I'm not going to use it. But I'll probably just give it to one of my friends, or maybe just keep it unused. I don't know. But The Impossible Kid, unbelievable album. Lyrically, on a whole different level from a lot of hip-hop. Song Shrunk is one of my favorites lyrically. It's like a conversation with him and a therapist. And like when he gets to the therapist's office, he has to fill out paperwork. So the first verse is about the paperwork. Second verse is about him waiting in the waiting room. And the third is the conversation with the therapist. And I love it. It's so well written. Just the opening line to that song is so fucking sick. My first name is a random set of numbers and letters and other alphanumerics that changes hourly forever. Like, how the fuck does a person think of that? Anyways, moving on. Great album, though. Check that out. Highly recommend it. Next one. This is a band that I have a love-hate relationship with. Love the first 3 records, hate everything else past it, and that's a very unpopular opinion. And now I have the first 3 albums. I do need to pick up the first album on vinyl. I have it on CD. Death. Leprosy. Great album. Not as great as a lot of people say. I still prefer Autopsy over Death all day. But this is still really good. Relapse reissue. Plain black vinyl. And it comes with this, lyric sheet. Folds open. Some liner notes. Shit like that. Can't wait to read that while spinning it. I spun side A real quick. Listened to the whole thing, and I really like how it sounded on vinyl. So I'm really stoked to give this a proper listen. But Death, Leprosy. Second favorite album from first. This one is pure death metal, whereas Scream Bloody Gore is kind of thrashy, and it's kind of odd that I like Scream Bloody Gore more, considering I don't like thrash. But Leprosy is fantastic. And funny story about the next one, Spiritual Healing. So when I walked into Soundgarden, I looked through the new arrivals in the used section, and they had Spiritual Healing, and it was $20 used. It said it was a 2007 press. It was like on blue vinyl. So I was like, alright, cool, I'll grab that. And after I paid for it, I went out in the car, looked on the back, and I saw it was a back on black pressing, and I was fucking pissed. And we went to a bar afterwards, and as I was sitting at the bar, it was just down the street from the place, I couldn't stop thinking about how much that annoyed me. So we went back, and I asked if I could trade it in and pick up the pressing I meant to grab, because I did think it was a Relapse one. I should have looked on the back. I was stupid. And the guy had absolutely no issue with refunding me and doing a trade-in on it, so I was able to pick this up, same price, so I didn't have to pay any more. And it's a new copy, and it sounds better than the Back on Black one. And it matches with my Leprosy one. So, it's a win all over. This is the last album from Death I care for. Just plain black vinyl. Download code just started to pop out. Alright. Another lyric sheet, kind of similar to the last one, with a photo collage. Yeah, this is the last Death album I like. This is when they still had like that grimy sound and didn't start becoming flashy. I just don't. If I'm gonna listen to old school death metal, I want it to be filthy, and this one is kind of on the verge of not being so filthy, but still really good. So I'm happy to have this in my collection. Maybe with some more spins, I'll like it. But I know I'll never get into like Human, Individual Thought Pattern, Sound of Perseverance, any of those records. I know those will always just kind of fall flat to me. Anyways, super happy to get this. One of my favorite bands from the UK. Rest in peace, Woden's Throne. If they were still around, they'd be my favorite. The bands that are still standing, this is probably my favorite one. Winterfylleth, which actually features Richard on this album from Woden's Throne. Winterfylleth with the Ghost of Heritage. Unbelievable atmospheric black metal. I mean, if you're familiar with Woden's Throne, you already know the sound. Very misty, just incredible, incredible atmospheric black metal. Back on Black Press, and it's the only way you can get these, and from the ones I have, they sound good. Like, what I saw was an '07 Back on Black Press, and this is the reason why I returned it. The older Back on Black presses sound terrible, and it's because they used, like, CDs as the master. And throughout the years, they've gotten a lot better. Like, my Burzum LPs sound incredible. I have no issue with those. I have no issue with the Winterfylleth one I have of Tyranny of Triumph. So I'm happy to have this, and yeah, comes on I love that center label. Comes on this kind of hazy clear vinyl. Pretty cool. Yeah, this has 3 bonus tracks, which is nice, because I have the cassette version, but I want to have everything from Woden's Throne on vinyl. Not Woden's Throne, Jesus Christ. Winterfylleth. I do have everything from Woden's Throne on vinyl. What am I saying? I'm just trying to finish up the Winterfylleth collection, so I need the Myssarian Sphere on vinyl and the new album that just came out. But the Ghost of Heritage, excellent debut. If you've heard their other stuff and you haven't heard this, you got to. It's absolutely fantastic. And then when I flipped that record, when I was looking at it on the rack, and I saw this one, I was really happy. This is the Divination of Antiquity. This is one of my favorites in 2014, I believe it was. Yeah, 2014. This album is so good. It's everything you want from Winterfylleth. Just that really majestic black metal sound that just gives you chills. It's perfect on a rainy, foggy, misty day. It's one of my favorite bands to listen to in the spring. Beautiful gatefold. And this one comes on a really cool splatter. And at first I was like, that looks kind of stupid. Then I looked at it compared to the cover. I'm like, oh. So that looks really cool. Matches the artwork. When it comes to Winterfylleth, I can't recommend a particular song. What I can do is recommend that you listen to an entire album of theirs. They don't really have anything bad in their discography, in my opinion. Everything is just incredibly solid, and there's a reason why they're one of my favorite bands in black metal, especially from the UK. As I said, Woden's Throne, if you like that sort of epic, kind of Emperor-esque black metal, but way more atmospheric, in my opinion, better than Emperor, Winterfylleth is definitely a band for you to check out. And the last one. When I was at the store and I saw this, I looked at it about 6 or 7 times. Actually, I'm going to keep the sleeve on it because it says the band name, even though everyone should recognize this album cover. I looked at it about 6 or 7 times, and I said, you know what, I need to pick it up, and if I told Grim Trashcan that I looked at it and I didn't buy it, he would be extremely disappointed in me. And that would be Sleep with Dopesmoker. This is the newest reissue by Southern Lord. So, of course, extremely solid gatefold. Love that spot gloss. Love this new artwork that they did for it. This album is a fucking masterpiece of stoner doom. Love the thick spine on it, although I hate the fact that it's kind of angled. That bothers me. You can kind of see the gatefold sticks out a bit more on one side. But not a big deal, I guess. More spot gloss. If you haven't heard this, Dopesmoker is one song that goes on for an hour. And to quote, I believe it was actually one of the members of, sometimes you hear a riff and you just think to yourself, that riff is so good you want it to go for an hour. That's what this is. And it's been a long time since I've listened to it, so I'm glad I have it now so I can like give it a proper listen again. But this is such a great album from what I remember. I can't wait to spin this. So side A, B, and C is Dopesmoker, and side D is Holy Mountain, May 91, I Beam. So it's, I believe, live tracks. There's Holy Mountain and Sonic Titan. Holy Mountain's a fantastic song. Speaking of which, I need to get Holy Mountain on vinyl, but that shit's expensive. Comes with this really cool gatefold. Super heavy printed inner sleeves. On like these notes about the song. And nothing on that. Just plain black vinyl. But the attention to detail on this reissue is insane because, yeah, you can kind of see the inside is printed, which is so cool. You wouldn't think of doing that. I've only seen a handful of releases like that. Like, I know Black Celice is all black on the inside of theirs, which is really sick. And also, there's a older reissue of Blasphemy's Fallen Angel of Doom that has like a camouflage print on the inside, which is really sick. But Sleep, Dopesmoker, everyone should know this album. Especially if you say that you like stoner and you haven't heard this for whatever reason. There's a fucking problem. I don't really want to talk too much about it because, as I said, A, I feel like everyone has heard it, and B, I just don't really know. I haven't listened to it in so long that I don't think I could really give it justice. If you want to know more about Sleep and shit like that, check out Grim Trashcan. These guys are like one of his favorite bands. But so that's my collection update. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 records. And I'm going to go and spin them. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'll see you in the next video.